Hi and welcome back to the channel. Hopefully the audio records okay because I forgot the microphones and I'm not in my normal habitat for this one. We are in fact getting ready for the 2020 Forest Rally. So change of venue for me and for the rally itself, as well as date, and while the name's the same, everything else is pretty much different. This is a rally with a bit of a twist. It's called the Forest Rally, however it's really a state championship event or a combination of two state championship events using roads that used to form part of the old Stirling Stages rally, also used at Rally Australia in years gone by, back in the mid-2000s, and also roads in Collie around Wellington Dam that would form part of the Experts Cup. This year running in sprint in September rather than the normal April date that we're used to. The format too is also a bit different for competitors. Normally we start out of a service park where I usually get to shoot the video of all the cars together. You start with what's called TC0, then head out to the first stage, do the rally and keep coming back to the service park. In this case, however, competitors are going to start in Harvey itself at pretty much the control for the first stage. So there's no real official starting point as such. You just get to the first stage and start, do the stages in Harvey, Brunswick, and then liaise all the way up to Collie before they'll get to first service. Now we've only got two services for this rally and they're very short, 20 minutes each. For a 160k rally, that is quite tight and we're going to need all hands on deck to make sure it all goes smoothly. And amongst all this, my hay fever's acting up a bit. It is the start of spring and even Tablet today and a coastal area is still playing up, which is a bit of a bugger. Officially on this rally we were running a two-car team. We had Hugh and stand-in navigator John in his WRX and Brad making a welcome return with Graham in his new WRX. Great to see Brad back out on the stages again. In our service area, however, we also shared with a couple of Nissan Silvias because we had Todd and Cash out in their S15. Mick Steele making a welcome return in an S13 that used to belong to Sean Keating. Also the Thomas's WRX and also running in the Clubman Jared Sewell in his Daihatsu Charade. So while we were officially servicing two cars, we were also there to lend a hand if needs be with a few others. And so they were off and racing. And first stage out to Harvey Weir was a short 5 or so kilometre blast on some old Stirling Stages roads. Unfortunately, the husband and wife team of Raz and Iona Vlad, they didn't get through the stage. They put the car off and got it stuck in a bit of a ditch, like in a gully. And it took quite some time to recover the car. Thankfully, they were able to get the car out and get it back to service and restart later in the rally. Our start wasn't without a little bit of drama either. Unfortunately, Brad and Graham had a flat tyre pretty much off the start line of stage one and had to do the stage with a flat tyre. Luckily, they got it sorted before the start of stage two. After service, crews were out to tackle the Collie stages, and that included the 35k Wellington Dam stage, and that was going to not only decide the rally later on in the day, but prove very treacherous for a lot of people. Collie is well known for the blinding sun coming over some crests, and with this rally, like almost all of them, there was a few delays which delayed the start of the Wellington Dam stage. Unfortunately for Brad and Graham, they came over the crest into blinding sun, weren't sure where the corner was, turned in a little bit too early and got the car stuck. There wasn't any major damage. Unfortunately, they were out of the rally at that point in time until they were recovered after the running of the stage, and therefore they didn't get back until right at the end of the second service. Hugh and John, however, were still finding their feet with each other, and also Hugh with the car and going to a 6-speed gearbox. However, they were doing well, and after the third stage they had moved up to 21st position. Mick Steele and new co-driver Katie Oxley were taking it fairly easy on the Forest. It had been over 20 years since Mick had been behind the wheel of a rear-wheel drive rally car, and the last time he was, it ended in tears. Unfortunately, on stage 6, they dropped a whole chunk of time and lost roughly 10 minutes to the leaders. The second run over the Wellington Dam stage and the final stage of the day proved to be quite treacherous, and unfortunately a lot of cars just didn't finish. And the final stage of the day had to be cancelled after an accident where Steve Dixon and Paul Vandermeer found a tree in their Honda Integra. And so after a big day of racing, the top 10 were in. First up was the husband and wife of Lee and Joe McElroy. They brought their STI Spec C to a tidy 10th place. Andrew Goldie and Murray Hines had a good run in their Evo 7 and they finished 9th. Mike Joss and Megan Lowe, they had an absolute ball. Megan told us after the rally that Mike absolutely loved it the whole way round. He was just squealing with delight. He brought his S15 naturally aspirated Silvia to 8th place. Well done, Mike. Doug Tostevin and Tammy Adams brought their Legacy RS to 7th. Dave Thomas with Daughter Kelly alongside brought their WRX to 6th place. Well done Dave on a good finish considering this was only your second rally in a 4-wheel drive car. Nick Box, this time co-driven by Damon Nicoli, brought his S13 Sylvia to 5th. He was the highest placed 2-wheel drive, and considering that he was also playing Road Sweeper as car 2 on the road, it was a sterling effort. Craig Rando and Steve Wade brought their WRX to 4th. Ben Searcy and Jimmy Marquette had actually led the rally earlier on in their Evo 9. Come the end, they are still on the podium, and they dropped to 3rd. (2019) state champions John O'Dowd and Tony Fever brought their Skoda Fabia R5 to 2nd place. And that left the top spot, and it was taken by Mike Young and Scott Beckwith in a Subaru WRX that was borrowed from Maximum Motorsport. Now this is probably one of the closest finishes in Forest Rally history, with just 0.5 of a second between Young and Beckwith and O'Dowd and Fever. And because of the win, Young and Beckwith now lead the state championship. So yes, back to my natural surroundings for the finale. Thanks very much for watching the 2020 Forest Rally. Please like, give us a thumbs up and subscribe, and I'll catch you again soon. Cheers.